right, we're going to get started. Feel free to kind of wrap up your discussions, grab something to drink, and we're going to get started with the next part of our program. It brings me a great deal of pleasure every year when we have these pitch events to feature a company that we've been supporting for a while that's successful, right? Many of the companies you heard from already and that you'll hear from in the second part of the pitch sessions are companies that are trying to make it, right? They're trying to get the product to market, starting to get some traction. But we brought in last year Max Pro Fitness, one of our most successful consumer product companies, Nazar Akil, to kind of share his journey and what it took. And it wasn't all fun. A lot of challenges along the way. And now we have the good fortune to have one of our more successful clients, entrepreneurs, Karissma with the CEO and founder of Gildform, which just has a wonderful story to share with us today. So, Karissma, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Can you guys hear me? How's that? A bit louder? Hold on, let me readjust.
Yeah, I don't know if we can bring it up a little bit higher. Or is that work?
That might be better. Is that better? All right. If I gotta hold it, I'll hold it too. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and thanks for giving back and sharing, because these entrepreneurs in the room, they have a lot that they can learn from some of our clients that have been there and done that, right? And Karissma, where you're at now, it makes me very happy to see your progress. Not that there isn't still challenges ahead, but let's get started in telling your story. For those that maybe are less familiar with Gildform, tell us a little bit about Gildform, the business, and what you do.
Yeah, so Gildform is the world's first all-in-one, on-demand jewelry design and manufacturing platform, and we help creators design, produce, and fulfill their jewelry products starting with literally just an idea. We work with creators that are maybe just getting started in their basements to mega brands like Marvel, for example, where we did the jewelry for Wakanda Forever. And through our 5 proprietary software platforms, patent pending, thanks to Centrepolis, we are really on the mission to empower creators, and I'm happy to say that jewelry is just the beginning for us, but that's what we do. We work with creators that have those ideas, and they hire from our global network of jewelry CAD designers, and once they're happy with the design, they approve it, and then they click produce. It's literally as simple as that. They click produce, where they choose different materials, finishes, assembly options, all those things connected to fulfilling the order, and we produce, pack, and ship directly to the end customer. They also can place an order where they can sell in any way they choose, and we also provide up to $50,000 in on-demand financing for their on-demand production, so that literally nothing gets in the way of turning their ideas into reality. And currently we have over 3,000 plus creators that are signed up with the platform, and we're just continuing on our mission to empower all of them.
I always say you kind of democratize the way jewelry is designed and manufactured, right? Because if you have an idea but you don't know how to design, you have a pool of designers, right, on the platform that can design for you.
Yes.
And certainly you might not have manufacturing capabilities, most don't, so you offer that. And then if you have your own design, it's just, like you said, as simple as putting it on there, selecting the materials and pushing a button and go. So tell us how you came up with this idea. Like, I'm really interested to share with the audience your personal journey as an entrepreneur. Like,
you guys get to hear the story behind Gildform, like what happened leading up to that. And funny enough, we kind of had a moment earlier, just kind of when I was mingling prior to getting up on the stage, of like that moment of, getting to this point, which I started off as a jewelry designer myself in my basement on the west side of Detroit, not too far from here. And I was actually started quite young. I was like one of those really ambitious teenagers that just wanted to focus on my career. But from there, I taught myself the art and the process of silversmithing. And so whereas like I think traditional, like your traditional teenager is gonna be like, I wanna learn how to bead and, you know, put some things together with some wire or maybe some string. No, I had some gold nuggets and I had the audacity to pour molten metal in this basement and cast jewelry. And one thing led to another, and I was showcasing my process and presenting and documenting the process, and then I was invited to showcase my collections during Paris Fashion Week. And then one thing led to another from there, and the jewelry being sold in over 15 countries throughout the world. And yes, and at that point, I started to see that level of success. I was the first person in my immediate family to travel outside the country, let alone for something that I actually enjoy doing, and for a business that I'm creating from the ground up or from the basement up, however you want to look at it. And I hit that moment of like, yes, I made it. And then I started to really discover and see the challenges of how to, of operating in the jewelry industry. Jewelry is one of the oldest things known to humanity. We've been adorning ourselves since the beginning of time. And so when we think about, the jewelry industry, when it comes to manufacturing, the process is literally as old as time itself. And so I was like, well, working with traditional manufacturers who then at that point were also turning me away, I realized that I was not going to succeed working within that traditional process. It took too long, it was too expensive, and actually a lot of them just turned me away and said no, for whatever reasons. To this day, I still don't know why. And so I just, again, had the audacity to build what did not exist, to bring the jewelry industry in today's times, where I could take one of the things that I stumbled upon throughout my own process, which is the power of, and my ability of turning an idea into reality. Yes, I just so happen to do jewelry, but that is our sweet spot in what we do. And so I was like, well, how do I take this and put it into a platform? Because I figured it out. It is when I started to really look into or like realize that I needed to scale up. I needed the power of manufacturing. I needed the power of funding and financing, and I needed the power of design at scale. And so, needless to say, I took it and distilled it, packaged it, and put it into what's now 4 or 5 proprietary patent pending softwares that's enabling creators all over the world. And so I always say that I was creating jewelry, but I ended up like stumbling upon the greatest gem, which is the platform that empowers others to turn any idea into reality, which is truly the most important thing to humanity, ideas. It's the reason that we are all here today in this room is from an idea. And so imagine if that person or those people did not have the ability to turn that idea into reality. If they let supply chain or if they let no's get in their way of that idea, this would not exist. And so Gildform exists for that very reason, is to empower people to turn their ideas into reality.
So I'd love for you to share too a little bit about your experiences as an entrepreneur in this whole hard tech manufacturing space. And I know your platform is much about software and e-commerce, but you had a manufacturing element, right? Mm-hmm. And anyone that we've worked with that gets into that space has their set of challenges. So maybe you kind of talk about some things that worked well, some things that maybe didn't work as planned.
Well, I'll start off by saying that the struggle is real. I think we all know that, especially in manufacturing. But I think one of the things that we know to be true, and actually I'll take a step back. When it comes to the struggle, what is that? When we launched Gildform, we launched in a 900 square foot location, from the manufacturing perspective. And so from there, it was like, okay, well, we have people beating down the door asking us to manufacture their jewelry products. And the platform made it so easy so that anybody could do it. And so then we sort of encountered the challenges of scale, and we hit capacity, and very quickly. And so we call those champagne problems. Those great problems to have. But for me, I was like, okay, this is not it. This isn't the vision. We need to be able to empower more creators, the creators that are waiting. And so I would say that that's been a challenge, even like still is to those days, but it's still champagne problems. These are problems that I once prayed for, that I've prayed for every night, is to be able to, continue to empower creators. And so, the challenges still persist when it comes to the demand outweighing the capacity that we actually have today. So, I'm happy to say that we went from a 900 square foot location to a 6,000 square foot building. And so now we are slowly but surely being able to increase our capacity, and then going from, we look at like the equipment that we have, the labor that's available for us. And so also thanks to Centrepolis, we went from like 3D printing 14 units every 24 hours, which is like not a lot, to being able to do almost over 9,000 units a month, and increasing throughput and all of those things with increased technology, improved technology, and all of those amazing things. And so I look at the challenges, because the challenges are going to come. The struggle is always going to be real. And so the question that we ask ourselves at Gildform is, how can it be better? And then we do the work to make that happen. And we have our own proprietary software, like our enterprise resource planning software, manufacturing execution software, where we actually can look at our data and say, okay, well, we have bottlenecks in these areas, and this is where we need to invest our resources, or this is what needs to happen. Or if we have defects that keep recurring, we can do design of experiments very quickly, or first identify that we do have a problem, because I think that's the biggest challenge for a lot of people, is that a lot of people may not know that that they have a problem. And so we can quickly distill that information and see that, okay, we have some issues here, isolate those issues, maybe do some design of experiments, and from there be able to improve and grow.
Yeah, so I think it'd be, on that thread, Karissma, it'd be interesting to tell the audience kind of what you experienced. All of a sudden your company just blew up, and there's this real opportunity in front of you that could be volume orders like you've never seen before. Mm-hmm. So, and for those who are less familiar, Centrepolis helps companies even that are in manufacturing to look at, what does it take to scale up to go from 100 units a month to, 10,000 units a month. And so we work closely with Karissma and her team on value stream mapping, workflow analysis, to identify what those bottlenecks are. And can you talk about how that is helping you figure out what you need to raise from an investment standpoint to address those bottlenecks, and the technologies you might have to bring in?
Yeah, so like right now, I talked about like producing 14 units every 24 hours. Now our next champagne problem, but exciting opportunity for us, is to figure out how we're going to, well, not figure out, but to work toward the process of scaling up our facility to do over 1 million. And so I think for us, it's like asking ourselves, what needs to happen to get there, and having Centrepolis as a partner to, support us along that journey, I think is so instrumental with just the overall scale. Being able to look at our facility from a different vantage point is always, value added, but also just having that network where, while we are actively growing and, really like building the car as we're driving it, we're able to, have a full, whole, what feels like a team of mechanics surrounding us, lifting us up as we go throughout that journey. And so that's been, so
And I'll point out, you did a great job astutely of identifying a new type of 3D printing technology that we were fortunate to be able to secure some investment from us and a grant through Michigan Economic Development Corporation that supports scaling small manufacturers. So, and that's in place now, and it's making a big impact.
Huge impact.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Let's talk about your location, because when I met Karissma, what gets me really motivated to work with founders like Karissma is when they want to do it here, when they want to manufacture it here. And I walk the walk, literally. I got shoes that are made in Detroit on my feet. So, let's talk about your new location, the expansion, and behind, Gildform is really a social mission impact business that I'd like you to talk about.
Yeah, so within this new location, we're so excited to be able to expand. One of the things that we lacked before was the square footage that we need to fit people and equipment in. And so now we have the space, an abundance of space, to be able to fit the equipment that we need and the people. And the people from a social impact part is something that I'm so, truly excited to embolden the community, give them the audacity to really turn their lives into gold. That's where actually the name of Gildform sort of is derivative of, but to empower the community by giving them access to these level of jobs when it comes to computer-aided design, being a production artisan, learning entry level, learning the craft and the skill of jewelry manufacturing. Something that I'm excited about. We recently partnered with the Alternative for Girls program, where we are supporting that program to allow its participants to participate in this, to be able to work in Gildform's manufacturing, or if it's software development, or if it's, if they want to start their own brand, empowering the participants and the young women that are a part, girls and young women that are a part of that program, to get on their mission of turning their lives into gold and supporting that.
And it's made in Detroit.
Made in Detroit. I forgot that. Yeah, I thought that was assumed, but yes, in Detroit. As a Detroit native, that's something that's important to me. I have been all over the world. I could be, and just having that realization, if and I even at a point that was like, could I be in a different city? I went to a different city and for 2 weeks and was like, let me see if I can, if I could see it did not stick. And so I think that that's one of the things is that I always say that Detroit really has the heart and soul of American-made manufacturing and truly of manufacturing in the world. I believe that we're innovators, we're inventors, and I think that's the energy that we want to tap into, not only from the perspective of like manufacturing and the industrialization of what we're doing, but also culture, creativity. Like it's really born in the city of Detroit when we think about the automotive, but also there's the connection to the music industry as well. And so I just, when I think of Detroit, now I'm not just saying that because I'm a Detroit native, but when I think about Detroit, we really have what it takes to be innovators, to continue to be innovators and inventors. And so I couldn't think of any other place that I'd rather be in doing this thing, though we are making a global impact. Yeah. And I want to be able to continue to do that in Detroit.
Yeah, and I personally want to thank you because I mentioned I grew up a machinist. My dad's machine shop that I grew up working on is Mount Elliott Tools in Detroit. And more importantly, my family, when they migrated from Poland, lived right in that Michigan Avenue area. Mm-hmm. I know I told you that. And that area has fallen on hard times over the years, and the fact that you're reinvigorating an area and hiring local Detroiters is something to be applauded for sure.
Yeah, so. I think one of the things is that like the talent is here. Like no matter what happens to a city on the surface level, we're here, we've been here, and we're gonna continue to uplift, and that's our mission. And so I think there's a lot of like the lack of access to resources, information, but also where it's like there's lack, and we can spend all day talking about the lack that we do have, is also the support too, like the organizations like Centrepolis that's willing to come to Detroit and work through all aspects of our manufacturing process with the founder, the CEO, and the team. I think those are things that are really beneficial. And then also there's a lot of other programs like the MEDC, for example, that has a mission of supporting the talent that is here. So 100%.
So I want to switch the discussion to talk about fundraising, which a lot of hard tech, manufacturing tech companies really struggle with fundraising. In fact, a lot of people don't know that less than 1% of all venture capital goes into hard tech businesses, manufacturing tech businesses, and why you're a bit software and hard tech. You had to use a patchwork of funding to get where you are today. So can you kind of explain that journey too,
yeah.
and how you had to use a patchwork of funding to get you where you are today?
Yeah. So to give perspective, what you said, less than 1% goes to hard tech. We'll do like a 0.2% of that going to Black women. Imagine. And so already there's an uphill battle of one, doing what has never been done before. We're the first platform in the world that allows creators to have an idea, create that idea, get it to market instantly, and only pay for production when they get sales, where that company will produce, pack, and ship direct to the end customer. And so we have a pretty ambitious mission. We're doing it. And so I recognize the challenges that come with the fact of like hard tag plus and so it is definitely like a piece, like patchwork of identifying the funding. I leveraged and leaned into non-dilutive capital, which historically is better for the founder when it comes to retaining equity in your company, and then also partnering with those that get it. There's that famous saying, those that get it, and those that don't. And so really just like identifying those that truly do understand our mission, and then it resonates within them. And so we have investors like Techstars, powered by JP Morgan. We're able to leverage the power of JP Morgan and the Techstars universe, as well as investors and partners like Pharrell Williams and Black Ambition. And being able to take those, again, resources and network. And so when I look at fundraising, when I look at capital, not only do we look at like that cash infusion as and our use of funds, but we're also looking at, from a value add perspective, what's the relationship that we're building, and what can you bring to the company? And so if that's like, if I could give anything, it would be, yes, accessing capital is challenging, but if you could, for those that are in that process, identifying those that like maybe have an area of expertise in your industry or in your vertical, and those that add value. That was something that I think I had to kind of learn. I was at first talking to all the people, and then ended up, spinning my wheels going through that process of talking to all the people, but all of the people may not be our people that, are excited about what we're doing. And so I was able to once I figured that out, save some time by having conversations with those that really understand the work.
Yeah, we call it smart money. It's someone that brings more than just money to the table, connections,
Yes.
customers, resources, and you've been able to do that with some great private investors on top of non-dilutive grant money and Centrepolis' investment.
And with you guys too.
Yeah. I also want to put you on the spot, but you personally have received quite a bit of recognition at the national level. I'd love for you to share it's really put you on the forefront on a national level, and I'd love for you to share some of those experiences.
We were featured in Forbes, one of the print issues. We also were recognized and honored as Forbes 30 under 30, or I was recognized and honored as Forbes 30 under 30 in the manufacturing and industry category. Cranes 40 under 40. I think there's so much stuff that I'm missing. That's also, that was also an amazing honor that we received. Am I missing something? Dan, I feel like I'm missing something. But yeah, I'm missing something. And I also had the honor and privilege of spending time, a whole week, with Sir Richard Branson on his private island, where I was invited to speak about the power of on-demand manufacturing and what it takes to really help those turn their ideas into reality, and what we call turn their lives into gold. And so I spent some time with Sir Richard Branson receiving his mentorship, going on insane bike rides, which if you have the privilege of doing that, because it's quite challenging. But so I think that was an amazing experience to be able to connect with such a brilliant person and serial entrepreneur and be able to really just be poured into. I say that, yes, we built this amazing company. In addition to that, it's our amazing community that's supporting and uplifting us. And so I'm happy to say that Centrepolis is a part of that community. I'm also happy to say that Sir Richard Branson is a part of that community. And I also just think that this is just the beginning.
Yeah, what a great experience it must have been. So last question, we're a little bit on time, but you're always working on new ideas, new functionality in the platform, new partnerships. What's on the horizon for Gildform?
What's on the horizon? So we're focused on answering the question of how do we continue to empower creators and embolden them, and to give them everything that they need. And so recently we launched our AI tools, JewelForge and BrandForge. JewelForge is an AI tool. It's a generative AI tool that takes an idea and creates a design. BrandForge, an AI assistant that really takes your brand and gives you the power of whatever it is that you need, whether it's a product description or a marketing strategy, right in the platform. And so what you will see moving forward is more of the same, more of the work. So increasing our capacity so that we can serve more creators, as well as continuing to innovate in the space of, I would say, doing the work of empowering creators. Starting with jewelry, but jewelry is just the beginning for us.
And so, Karissma, on that note, we're excited to hear where Gildform goes in the future. And again, I can't appreciate you enough for coming here and sharing your story with these wonderful entrepreneurs that are trying to get to your point, right, where they're growing and scaling. So join me in thanking Karissma for being here today.
Thank you.
Wish her well on her new journey, next steps.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Karissma, and we'll ask Dennis to come back up, and we'll get started with the second session of pitches.
Karissma, yes, absolutely. So next, and first of all, great talk, great fireside chat. It's so inspiring to hear your story, absolutely. So now we're going to move into the second session of pitches. And again, we have the judges up front here. We got some amazing pitches this afternoon. Again, they're 4 minutes of a pitch, and then also 4 minutes of Q&A from the judges as well. We'll get started here. Our first presenter is Brandon Martin from Reaction Technology. Come on up, give him a hand. And as Brandon is preparing, I usually don't do one-liners, but we've never had a presenter bring a dummy with them. So this is a first for us. But all I can say is don't go hitting it and running up, falling off the thing here, okay? So here you go.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this opportunity, and let me get into it. So my name is Brandon Martin. I'm the founder and CEO of Reaction Technologies. Reaction Technologies was founded after seeing a 13-year-old football player become paralyzed in a football game. Being a former athlete and seeing a kid become seriously injured through the game of football that I love and that I played and so many people love made us want to make a difference. Situational awareness is a key factor in the safety and performance of athletes who play football. You will see these type of hits at every level of football, from youth football to the NFL. When a player leads with the crown of their helmet to make a tackle, that player leaves themselves at risk for serious head, neck, and spinal injuries. It is estimated that 50% of all high school injuries are associated with poor tackling technique. On the performance side, over the last couple of years at the higher levels of football, they have started to make rule changes to try to take these type of hits out the game. If a player comes in to make a tackle with the top of the helmet, that player is flagged and ejected from the game. So Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh are actively looking for ways to be able to keep their best players on the field, because this is affecting the wins and losses of games. So our product is an accessory that wraps around the tackling dummies that these schools and organizations already have. As the player is running in to hit the tackle of the dummy, the coach will change the number on the screen. If that player comes in using incorrect tackling technique with their head down, they won't be able to tell you the number on the screen. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to give coaches a tool to be able to help teach proper tackling technique by forcing the athletes to have their head up in command of the game situation. Through lots of customer discovery along the way, we realized that we're more than just a safety product. We're more than just a football product. Our product can be used in basketball, soccer, rugby, lacrosse, boxing as a tool to enhance the athlete's ability. We've all seen a little kid's basketball game where they're dribbling with their head down, not seeing the court, things like that. And so our product will be a tool for coaches, trainers to enhance the athlete's skill level. Everybody wants to be Steph Curry, but one of the ways to be Steph Curry is to continue to enhance your skill level. You're never too good for fundamentals and technique. These are the 3 key reasons why our product works. We focus on enhancing technique, we focus on building muscle memory, and creating situational awareness. This is what separates us from the competition. Other tools out there on the market are reactive after the injury has happened. We want to be proactive. We want to be on the front lines of safety and performance of athletes. So we estimate that we have identified 8 different sports that our product could be used in from a safety aspect and a performance aspect. In those 8 different sports, we estimate there are around 6 million teams at all levels of those 8 different sports, and another 6 million plus outside the US. And that's how we got to our $12 billion total addressable market. Our beachhead market will be just youth football in Michigan and Texas. The future of our product and the future of sports are in analytics and data. We will integrate additional electronics such as cameras, AI, and accelerometers into our device, and we'll be able to package it all up into an app. What we want to do is we want to be able to tell coaches, parents, athletes how many times they had their head down in a day, in a week, in a month, and be able to give real-time feedback as the drills are occurring. Our end game on the football side is actually putting our device into the tackling dummies, and we will be going into the tackling dummy game too. So to date, I am from Austin, Texas, moved out here about 2 years ago, and we were the definition of bootstrap until we moved out here. We raised over $90,000 from our founding team and both families. We have received grants from Centrepolis and Ann Arbor Spark, and we're proud to say we're part of the Invest Detroit fan program. Our next steps, we're patent pending on our wearable product right now, and we're looking to get 50 letter of intent signed, and then we're setting up our pilot program for football and basketball over the fall. And another thing is we're starting to look for strategic partnerships that will help us with sales, marketing, and raise the capital. So our founding team, it's just me up here right now, but our founding team, other 2 founding team are still in Texas. We have a combined over 50 years of football playing experience. Although we are first-time entrepreneurs, we knew that we would need to surround ourselves with people that would help us grow the business, to help us grow as entrepreneurs. And so we have an advisory team, and we're proud to say we're supported by different organizations in the ecosystem in Michigan. So for the judges, we are the definition of what all y'all's hard work does. We are that. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I appreciate it.
Give a hand for Brandon. Great job, Brandon. Okay, judges, questions, please?
Yes.
Do you have a patent?
Great question. Yes. So our utility patent has been approved. So we have our utility patent on our football product, and we are patent pending on our wearable product right now.
Thank you. Are you working on the cameras, or is that something that you're partnering with a specific vendor?
So right now what we're doing is we are using the students at Lawrence Tech to help us create that, go through the product roadmap of that. And so we are using some of the interns to help us with that.
So what is your go-to-market strategy? Is it continue to partner with colleges, little leagues, et cetera, and have them as your customers and grow from there?
That's a great question. So yes, the NFL, college football is the big fish. Our big market is considered youth football. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to really focus on getting to the market in Texas and in Michigan. Between those 2 states, we feel like if we can show the number of head, neck, and spinal injuries are being reduced, that alone will be able to help us spread into these other states and these other sports and things like that. So what we want to do is we want to show that our product does make a difference. And from there, number 1 problem with the game of football is the safety of the players. And so this is the number 1, they are actively looking for ways to try to enhance the safety of athletes.
Yes, Brandon, I was trying to get a better sense too for your initial market. You know, you had, numbers up there for what the total would be, but what do you really think, as you get in the market, what do you think you can make, say, in a year, the first year, second year, third year going forward?
Well, our goal over this next year is to do a 100-order pilot program. We feel like getting the evidence back from there and, be able to have these conversations with these coaches, use them to help us get our product out is going to be big. And then from there, we really want to focus on the youth side of this. This is the biggest, where the most athletes are playing are between the ages of 6 and 17. And so that is our market right there. I should have added this. The kid that I seen become paralyzed, his mother ended up suing the league, and they won the lawsuit. So it's precedent. If you don't teach this right, you can be liable. And so that's another thing our product can be. It's a risk reduction type of thing.
Are these sensors placed on the helmet, or are they movable, or?
So we're still working on that, but how we see it is, yes, being a little sticker, a little thing, so we'll be able to know who's up, and then it will go into the cloud. And so, yeah, we'll have cameras that's actually inside this device, but then sensors on the back of the helmet or on the face mask of the helmet, because we don't want to interrupt how practice is being done already. We want it to be easy, simple, and this is something you only going to do for 20, 30 minutes every single day, though, Yes.
Okay, good job. Thank you very much. So two great things about this most recent presentation here with Brandon is that Brandon has played the sport. He understands. He understands the safety issues, the concerns, and he's found a way to apply a solution to that. And then secondly is we also work collectively with other incubators and accelerators, such as Ann Arbor Spark here, where he started there, and he's come to us because we focus on the physical product development side. So our next presenter is David from LIVAQ. Here we go. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, pretty nice to meet you guys. I'm David Medina, the CEO and founder of LIVAQ, an electric off-road vehicle system startup designed in Detroit, inspired by Mexico. So, since the early beginning, I got to experience the thrill and freedom of off-roading at the coast of Acapulco. That's what it inspires me to build LIVAQ today. But the industry has a couple of problems. Every 170 miles will cost you $36.3. Every hour of riding will produce 314 kilograms of CO2, the equivalent of 30 vehicles at the same time. On the other hand, our solution, the eQuad, an electric ATV, has zero emissions. Every 170 miles will cost you less than $5, making it far cheaper after a year of ownership against all of the gas counterparts. The market is quite big. It's $8 billion and is expected to grow up to $10 billion by 2027. We're targeting the recreational market, and we're planning to acquire 5% of it in the upcoming years. We're planning to play on the deserts, the Caribbean, and the coastal areas, targeting businesses, governments, and seasonal residents. Through our marketing strategy, we're targeting businesses like Xcaret, Escape, who have already expressed interest into having a couple of our pilot programs. Our go-to-market strategy can be divided in 3 segments: the shared experience, the brand consolidation, and the transition, which in the first 2, we're planning to consolidate and forge our presence in the targeted locations, enabling an organic transition between renters to ownerships. Our competition. Well, we're planning to revolutionize the industry. That's why, instead of focusing into the high production, we're focusing into a limited production model, enabling us to use technologies like carbon fiber, 3D printed foam, and modular design. This makes us have the best range in the whole industry, have a max speed of 67 miles per hour, and that's how it looks. And then the revenue model, depending upon your deposit and the timing, you will get between 10 to 30% of discount. And for us, the gross profit is going to be between $7,000 to $13,000. But with the app, we're segmenting ourselves as trying to help the business owners. With the app, we're going to be able to ease the management and give them more control over their units. And for us, we're going to be able to recollect that data and improve and innovate upon that data. Now, the last year, we went really busy. We went from a CAD model into a functional prototype in less than 12 months with 53K and having also the trademark and patent filed last year. Now, this year, well, we're looking to be more busy. So far we have participated in a couple of the events, like New Lab opening and the speech competition and the meetup of Auto. Now, the goal for us is September. September is going to be our month because we're presenting in the Detroit Auto Show. We're going to be presenting in the month of design, and we're going to be having a sustainable exposition at Tulum, where we already have 23 test drives confirmed with business owners with a tentative outcome of 200 units sold by the end of the year. Now, with this 15K, we'll be able to produce 2 units. So far, we have secured enough funding, thanks to organizations like Invest Detroit, to produce 1.5, but that's not enough. So we're planning to use this 15K to produce 2 units, one for the Detroit Auto Shows and the events, and one for the event at Mexico. Thank you very much. And also in the corner here, you can see our functional prototype right now being in display at New Lab. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your time. Okay. That wasn't the presentation that I sent it. It's okay. Any questions?
Just go ahead. Go ahead, Aaron.
So I think you mentioned that there are other electric all-terrain vehicles. So is the app what differentiates yours from the other ones?
What differentiates us is the limited production. So for example, let's see, where are we? Long story short, a lot of our competitors are looking to produce 10,000 units a year. They are focusing more into the manufacturing capability and the production line instead of the quality of our product. So through making that decision of being a limited production company, we're able to get like 170 miles. Nobody in the industry has that. Also, we are able to use carbon fiber. Nobody in the industry has that. So did I explain myself correctly?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
fantastic.
So are you experiencing any kind of implementation hurdles as you are trying to go beyond 1.5 units?
Yes, so for example, we're looking to have funding by now, and we're having a really cramped timeline for the September events. So one of the decisions that we made, which was really fun, is the 3D printed foam. Instead of spending $170K into tooling to make the foam tools, we decided to spend it into acquiring a 3D printed and start doing the 3D printed foam, which nobody has in the industry. Only Porsche and BMW are using that technology, so we're pretty excited to have that technology as well.
Mm-hmm. What technology? I'm sorry.
3D printed foam, so it's a biomaterial that it's zero waste, it's recyclable, it's breathable, and it's quite endurance.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Great. Mm-hmm.
This is great. A couple questions. Is there a patent, and how soon and what kind of manufacturing process are you going to have?
Okay, so again, this is not the presentation that I sent it, but let's look it up. So our team, something that I didn't mention, it's comprised by a couple of mentors that we have. We go from Vice President of P&G and go-to-market strategy to advanced manufacturing with Pedro. And also we have our leadership team. But the way that we're doing the manufacturing is through our 20 key partnerships. All of these companies are amazing, and they are having the capability that we don't have. So we're looking to work with all of these companies in the future, and they are being huge supporters for us. Did I respond to your questions?
Yep.
Perfect.
Thank you.
How do you see growing your market without a dealer? I mean, is this going to be direct sales? Is that what you're planning?
So yes, it's going to be direct sales, but for that question, we're targeting the businesses. So for example, Escape brings 250,000 students a year into the Caribbean, so they can have an experience of like fun in the jungle. Now, Xcaret has six theme parks and has over 1.2 million visitors a year, and we're planning to do those pilots. So technically, the idea is to sell around 70% of our units to all of these companies, and then after you go to one of these companies, you experience our driving, you experience the nature through yourself in our vehicle, then you come back at us and be like, you know what, David, we want a couple of units for our own.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Well,
Hey, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Appreciate your hard work on your project this far. Great job. Thanks. So our next presenter, first of all, do we have any campers here? Anybody like to go camping? Yeah, there better be a lot. From Colorado, it's like, in Colorado, sometimes we can't use fires to heat up our coffee and our food and all that. So imagine being out in the middle of nowhere with power. With that said, Josef, you got the floor.
Awesome. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hey, all right,
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Dennis. And good afternoon, everyone. It's really great to be here today. Thank you for having me. I'm Josef Fjellmacher, founder and CEO of Electric Outdoors. And we at Electric Outdoors, we are really on a mission to connect people with sustainable experiences. We're solving for a sustainable future of camping, or maybe more specifically, the multi-billion infrastructure problem that we all will tackle going to the outdoors in our electric vehicles. So every year, more than 80 million American households are doing some sort of camping, and they're all converting to electric vehicles really, really fast. Yet, only 20% of the chargers that are deployed in US are in these rural camping locations. And in parallel, we have the America's youth who are embracing mobility, demanding sustainable accommodations, and never, ever has it been more difficult to find a place to go. So, imagine being an end consumer. You own or you rent an RV, very likely to be an electric van. You pretty fast figure out that going somewhere, staying somewhere, charging somewhere is really, really hard. Or imagine being a landowner who wants to support this influx of electric vehicles. Well, you pretty fast figure out that there is no assets to do that in a sustainable or an affordable way. Well, enter Electric Outdoors, our portable, off-grid and solar-powered destination platform allows us to go to the outdoors electrically. It captures energy from the sun, stores it in the battery, and then we use that energy to charge your vehicle, provide fresh water, and to take care of your waste so that we can focus on creating memories out there. We've also designed the unit to be easy to deploy and to transport so that we can support microgrid and other growth scale related opportunities. And we have a really great traction, like many of the teams have been talking about already. We have an initial funding from the state through the OFME MP4 grant. We have a lead investor in ID Ventures that are supporting us closing out our pre-seed round. We are two graduates of the I2P project program here at Centrepolis, a program that helped us to really confirm the product market viability and the product market fit through extensive customer discoveries. And our beachhead application market is that of the North America glamping space. It's a $1.1 billion market, CAGR of 15.3%, and serving more than 4 million glampers on an annual basis. And they have a perfect consumer performa fit to the one of Electric Outdoors. So we believe that by 2027, if we execute according to our plan, we will be at roughly 50 million revenue, capturing about 1.68% of that market and accommodating 1.1% of all those glamp pole stays. And I'm fortunate to do this together with my co-founder, Kurt. We're veteran founders with a vast experience, track record of working in innovative companies altogether. Last, we worked at Thor Industries, where we were able to bring these beautiful electric RVs to life. But we also have a really nice and rich, diverse group supporting us, and especially the strategic partnerships that we built here in Michigan. OFME, ID Ventures, our lead investor, Centrepolis, now our extended R&D partner, Plug and Play Detroit, who we're part of, but also Shop House Park, an innovation community up in Marquette, Upper Peninsula, who will be the first one to get our first unit deployed, tested, and marketed up there. So, next steps for us is really that of execution and raising money. You heard it before. We will deploy the first asset in September of this year, maybe October of this year, still capturing the last ray of sun here in Michigan. And from there on, we're all about embarking on two very specific projects to learn and capture the data and control the experience before we scale in the 2025 timeframe. And the projects we're talking about are some pretty cool headline products as well, like the world's first all-electric touring point-to-point adventure up in the Upper Peninsula, and the other one being the first ever self-sustained campsite, where we will connect 10 of our units together and create a self-sustained environment for people to camp. So with that, thank you so much for being here today, and please follow along on our journey on our social medias.
Good job. Thank you very much. Yep. Thank you. Okay, questions?
How portable or easy to assemble is this?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, one of the reasons we're working with Centrepolis all together. We see ourselves as an integrator. You know, we will get sub-assemblies, substructures to our integration sites, and then we will flat bed them. You know, that's the first approach. We will flat bed them to these beautiful, vast locations where we will place them.
But can a person do this on their own? I mean, set this thing?
I mean, the ideal stage, you know, down the road is that it's very automatic altogether. Right now, the portable requirements we have set is 2-person in 4 hours to be able to deploy and put the unit together.
Okay. And a follow-up question. We have a great company in Southfield called Sun Companies that does glamping. Been to their showcase and their assembly facility on 11 Mile and Inkster Road. Have you had any communication with them?
Yeah, I'm looking at Dan over there, but without, you know, violating any kind of non-disclosure agreements. Let's say that we talk to people like Sun Communities, KOAs, and other like that to embark.
Certainly. I'm just thinking of what's here locally.
But I love it, and yes.
Yeah, because they do phenomenal things.
Yes.
I could see a partnership.
Yep, thank you.
I just want some clarity. Is the idea for these to already be positioned at like RV parks or to be mobile?
Yeah, I mean, we believe that about 80–85% of the units deployed will actually sit where we first place them. And these would be in vast, you know, outdoor locations, not primarily at campgrounds. So that's why we're working with community developers, but also, you know, like DNR here in Michigan and other national forest, you know, association, including many other campground associations that are out there. But we believe they will be in beautiful spots, very difficult to access. That's where the prime mission is, solve for that edge case, and then we can, you know, scale and move them to other locations as well.
You know, I just have to say that fewer people are roughing it anymore. I mean, I go to a campground and I see televisions, and so that obviously power has to come from somewhere. So.
Indeed, and we're a bit, you know, sad to say, but people will still bring their digital devices to the outdoors. We don't promote it, but you will be able to charge your phones, charge your iPad, whatever that is, work from that beautiful, you know, beautiful space. There will be a Starlink, you know, where we need it in these outdoor, you know, locations, because people will demand Wi-Fi. Our IoT platform will also demand certain level of connectivity, of course.
Could you speak to the intellectual property aspect of it, and then also the cost of production aspect? Thank you.
Yeah, great questions. So our patents are in filing right now. So we're protected, we feel good from that point of view, and thanks again Centrepolis for helping out with that altogether. We are building up the build of material. We are doing a lot of engineering right now in terms of the structural elements. Will it be aluminum? Will it be steel? Will it be green steel? We're trying to make it as renewable as we possibly can at this stage. It's going to be, you know, depending on where batteries are going in terms of cost-wise, that's our, you know, I would say our most vulnerable place right now. They were heading down towards the $100 mark. You know, now they're back up there a little bit. So it's varying a little bit, but you know, we're building that cost structure right now, which is also supporting the business model explorations that we're doing.
So I was just curious too, from a competitive standpoint. I know you probably have done some competitive research. Could you speak to other attempts to do, similar things that you feel that you have a better approach than?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And when we benchmark ourselves against competition, it's really about utility, campgrounds, because we provide a solution that requires no dig, no electricity, no sewer system, or anything like that, right? So it's really a mix of a lot of things that are happening. Right now, we see the biggest threat, if you will, or the most competitive situation are the new emerging market players, like Lightship RV and Jupe, and some of those that are highly innovating in the sustainable outdoor space, but they don't have the assets that we're working. So it's always that delicate balance of, sort of creating your new marketplace, right, and figuring out what that competition looks like. But we have a rich background, obviously 2 years at Thor Industries as the Chief Innovation Officer, a few pieces of data that we were able to collect during that time as well.
Great job.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So before I invite this next presenter up, we have 2 more presenters. And I have a question for you all. Who here has a dog at home, a pet? That's it? Oh, come on, there's even more. Well, I don't know about you. There you go, Heather as well. For my wife and I didn't want to have dogs around, but we have a little dog, and the dog sometimes gets up in the bed in the morning and is all excited, wagging their tail, and you're roughing them up and all that. But some days you think, whoa, you need a bath. Well, with that said, let me invite our next presenter up, Leon Whitsett with Wagging Tails Pet Spa. All right, just push the green to go forward.
What's green?
The green to go forward.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Thank everybody for coming. I'm Leon Whitsett, the founder and CEO of the Wagging Tails Pet Spa. The majority of dog parents wash their pets using one of these techniques, either outside in the yard, either in their bathtubs, or in the kitchen sink, or they take their dogs to the groomer. The biggest problem in pet washing at home is back pains from people bending over and stooping. No matter how young or how old you are, your back is going to hurt if you bend over long enough. And also the problems are containment and injuries, cleanup and hygiene, and also people take their dogs to the groomers, which we all know are expensive and dependent on schedules, time, and also the travel. If you guys take a look at my competition here, you'll see that these are very nice, well-made devices, but all of these devices have the same problem, where it's injury to the dog if the dog decides to jump out of the tub. The operator and the work area is going to always get soaking wet. And even if you take a look at the top picture on the right, you'll see that the dog groomer wears an apron so they can keep dry and not get soaked and wet. The solution to all of these problems is the Wagging Tails Pet Spa. The Wagging Tail Pet Spa is portable, it's made for indoor or outdoor use, and it's made for home or business. It's easy to maintain a dry workspace. And if you take a look at it, this is my prototype, my first prototype that I built. But since I did that prototype, we made a lot of revisions. So it actually looks more like what you see at the top logo. Wagging Tail Pet Spa now has legs. These legs are adjustable to raise the pet up to the desired height that the operator needs it to be in order to reduce the back pains so he won't have to bend over. It's also efficient for containment. If you guys look at the clear dome that's on top, that's what keeps the water from splashing everywhere. That's what keeps the operator in control of their dog. And it's also easy to assemble and disassemble. When the unit is disassembled, all of the parts stack into one to make it small. That's for easy shipping and also for easy storage. And also with the Wagging Tail Pet Spa, you're also able to save time and money. The market size is huge. Dogs are the most popular pets in the USA. 65 million pet households own dogs, with 95% of those households wash their dogs themselves using one of those techniques that I showed you on the earlier slides. My target market, I'm targeting business to business. That's pet daycares, dog groomers, vet clinics, pet supply stores, pet-friendly hotels, pet boarding facilities, and e-commerce pet distributors. The biggest two that I'm going to target, the first one to be the pet supply stores. That's the Pet Supply Plus, the Pet Smarts, even the Home Depots and the Lowe's. The second I'm going to target is the e-commerce pet supply distributors. That's the Amazons and the Chewies. Traction to date, I spent over $20,000 out of my own pocket. I have a utility patent that's pending. I built the first prototype that you guys see here. I've done over 100 customer discoveries and also have the Idea to Core Hertz certificate. And I had initial discussions with Chewy.com. They are very excited about this product, and they're eager for me to get to the next phase. My next steps I have to do is I have to design for manufacturing revisions, fabricate my second prototype so I can do my pilot test, validate the market. I'll also launch my website and my outreach campaign. I'll do trade shows, 8 market pilot tests, and also 5 LOIs, letters of intent. My core team is myself, Ms. Nakaya Whitsett, and also the complete advisory team at the Centrepolis Accelerator. The Wagging Tails Pet Spa is definitely going to be the best pet grooming device that the market has seen, and a lot of people are going to take advantage of it, and that'll be the way that most people start to wash their pets. I hope everybody enjoyed my presentation. I hope you guys love the Wagging Tails Pet Spa, and I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Great job. Great job. Thank you.
Do I have any questions?
Come on, Miss Pet Owner.
Well, okay, I do have a question. You said the box, it contains the water. Where does the water go? Yeah, where does the water go if you're indoors?
It actually, up under the bottom, has a drain hose. Drain hose connect right up under the bottom, and you run a drain hose where you need it. If you're in the house, you can run it in the bathtub or sink or toilet.
So I have another question. With your customer discovery, was it equal men and women? Because I have a German Shepherd, and it's really hard for me to wash my German Shepherd. That's why I'm asking.
Right. That's a good question. I've done a lot of customer discovery with groomers, so I asked the groomers that exact same question. Mostly men or women come in to wash their dogs. It's equal, men and women, and all ages too.
And what is the, I was trying to assess the size limitation of the prototype device as it is.
Okay.
It can handle up to what size dog?
Yeah, well, right now we're going to have 2 sizes, which is going to be large and extra large. The large one, it'll hold dogs from like 70, up to like 70 pounds. The second one, dogs up to 125 pounds for the real big dogs.
Ooh. Oh boy. Okay.
Any more questions?
You got a question?
So, my kids have a dog. I don't have a dog. My kids have a dog. And can you walk me through the process? Because she asked a question about the drain hose. So can you walk me through how do you? Because you mentioned the different heights.
Right.
So you don't have to. Do you put the hose in, fill it up? So can you walk me through that? Because it's indoor, outdoor. Because most times it's just, it's outside, it's the hose, fill it up, dump it out. So can you just walk me through logistically, like from inside to outside, like how you would walk through the process?
Okay, good. That's a good question. If you was to look at my competitions, you will see everybody have a bathtub, okay? Mine is a showering system. So it's the only showering system that's actually on the market. So it's actually water hose hooked to the back of it, drain hose come out the bottom. It has a handle in the inside. So on the side wall, you see it has hand hose. You put your hands in the hose, and it's a watering device in there already. So you just wash your dog down with the hose that's already in there. You hang it up, and you're done. Did that answer your question correctly? Okay.
So also, I'm trying to figure out. When I had a dog, I would use my hands and I would scrub it like I would, you're taking a shower or whatever.
Right.
So those circles, that's where you put your hands?
Those are hand holds, yes.
Okay.
Because you're standing outside, the dog is inside, so you're,
All right.
and by it's raised up, you just walk up to it, put your hands in there, and you wash your dog.
Okay. And concerned a little bit about durability. Some animals may not like to be confined like this. So how durable is this if the dog starts clawing at something to get out, or?
Right, well, that's a good question. It's made of a lightweight but heavy-duty plastic material, and if you, like I said, if you notice, you have the clear top. So when the clear top, that means the dog has a vision of you, you have vision of the dog, and that keeps the dog more calm and relaxed.
Okay.
And the system, you are actually washing with your hands. It's not some type of washing system. So the dogs feel your hands on them, so they won't be anxious, won't have anxiety. They can see you and they can feel you.
Well, I just had flashback of the washing the dog in the tub and it wanting to get out of the tub.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right. And that's the total reason why I came up with the Wagging Tails Pet Spa, because that was my experience.
Yeah.
I bought a puppy and tried to wash the puppy, and the puppy went nuts. I said, it has to be a better way.
Okay.
And so I
Thank you.
created the better way. Any more questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask real quickly, you had mentioned your target market being the pet supply stores.
Yes, sir.
Beyond that, though, people like Aaron and Jason down there, not me, have to be your end customer.
Right.
They have to buy the product. So
Right.
how do you intend to bridge the marketing gap there?
They will have to go to Pet Supply Plus or PetSmart or Home Depot, But yeah, I think it's going to be a real big product, and I really think I'd have to deal directly to the big businesses, the big box stores and things like that, and then they'll supply the public.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. That's it. All right, thank you.
Great presentation. The other great opportunity with Leon's product is that he could also consider a private label or white label with a big name company as well. And as he mentioned, Chewy is really excited about this, and he was also asking them, are you looking for a sharper image version of a product here, or are you looking for a Walmart version? And they said they want the middle of the road. That's what they're looking for. And the question they asked him first, before they asked him what price it is, he offered that question first. That way he was able to find out where their price range was. And they said around $129 to $149, I think it was, something like that. But yeah, good job on the presentation. Okay, our final presenter for the evening here, afternoon, is Dante Williams from Cutz Concepts. Come on up. Up there.
Is everybody all right out there? Everybody all right out there? All right, it's been a long day. It's been a long day, I promise you that. But I won't keep y'all too long. Again, as he mentioned, my name is Dante Williams. I am the owner of Cutz Lounge Grooming Shop, located in Detroit, Michigan, and the co-founder of Cutz Concepts. Cutz Concepts is dealing with a problem in our industry. I've been a barber for roughly about 30 years. I started when I was 11. Obviously, I wasn't licensed, however. We started, my father was a barber, my grandfather was a barber, and guess what? I became a barber. And so as I continue to work as a barber and age starts to catch up to you, you start to feel these pains and you start to realize that you're not no spring chicken anymore. And so with this age brewing idea of my barbering and to have a longevity in my industry, I started to decide that, hey, how can I make myself have longevity in business? How can I work smarter and not harder? So I decided, hey, you know what? Let's figure out what's out there. I started looking on the market to find a product that would help me to access my tools easier, to do things that would make my life a little bit easier. And for some of you, if not all of you, You've been to the barber shop. Maybe not Pedro. Where's he at? Pedro has a different plan for his hair, but all of us have been to the barber shop. And what you've noticed is that the barber would typically sit you in a chair. They'll put the cape on, and as they start, they do this motion. Now, for 30 years, I've cut thousands of heads, and that motion itself can cause back pain. It can cause fatigue, shoulder pain. And so I said, Self, what can we do? So I went to my lab, I went to the basement, and I developed a product that I thought would help my barbers in the industry do their job easier, simpler, and more efficient. And so what I looked at is our barber schools has young entering into the industry barbers that are roughly between 18 and 25. But there are barbers that's been working for 10 plus years that need a product that's gonna help them in their longevity. It's preventable for the younger barbers. And so according to the American Barber Association, there are roughly 500,000 barbers in the United States. There are 150,000 barber schools and shops within the United States. And so our goal in our target market is to first start with our professional barbers. We're looking to figure out if their pain points matches mine. We got out and did some customer discovery. And that customer discovery has led us to believe that yes, they are feeling the same pain that I'm feeling. Now, you may think that it may just be your hands or your arms, but this constant turning motion for year after year can cause physical damage over time. And so we look to put our product first and foremost in barber shops. Then we look to start working with barber schools. That's going to allow us to prevent the back pain and the fatigue that I'm facing now as an older individual. The current option, as I mentioned, was a barber station. You guys are familiar with it. All the clippers are right behind them. They may turn your chair one way, but they're reaching here. They'll turn it another way, but they're reaching there. And so they continue to do this turning motion, which can cause an effect and is ergonomically inefficient. So the caddy. The caddy is a device that sits on the back of a barber chair. It allows for the barber to actually put their tools right in the back of the station at hands and arm's length. So now, instead of turning and twisting, you are able to efficiently work on your customer conveniently. You have an efficient workflow. I've been using it for about 5 years. Again, I was in the lab in my basement and I put it together. So I'm using a product right now and it keeps you ergonomically correct and it keeps your tools organized. You may often see the cords that are laying on the floor where barbers are cutting. That gets in the way often. And so this keeps everything organized right at the fingertips of the barber, allowing them to be efficient, effective, and ergonomically correct. Our traction to date, we do have our patent pending. We are working on our social media presence. I'm actually hoping that you guys will see me on some posts. If I don't have a haircut, forgive me, I'm a barber. I don't cut my hair, I cut others. And so I may not have a haircut. However, we are going to be having video posts. We're going to do our blogs. We're also going to have our Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then we're also going to do some very interesting things where we're going to bring in individuals to test our product. As I mentioned, barber schools. Right now, we have 400 that we're looking at, but there are 75 that are accredited. Now, the accredited barber schools makes a difference because we're now working with Pell Grants. And so with that being the case, there's a kit that all barbers have to have when they enter into barber school. And so our job is to replace something that's more efficient, that is able to do the job that kid is doing, but better. The barber shops, we're gonna actually get out of our space and start talking to barbers one-on-one. That is our goal. I mentioned Dante Williams. My other team members are Darren Vaughn. He is an engineer, and our director and coordinator, Dashika Hill. We have been working on this product again for about 5 years, and we look to put this thing into market really soon. So thank you guys for your attention.
Great presentation. Thank you. Thank you. So, Judge, questions, please?
Questions?
I'm still a little bit trying to understand what the caddy actually looks like, what it does.
Gotcha. So, as mentioned, this is the barber's barber chair, okay? Typically, you'll have a station. The barber caddy will sit on the back of the barber chair. And all the clippers, combs, shears, and everything is gonna be on the barber chair. So what happens is, instead of the turning to grab your tools and utensils between haircuts, you're actually grabbing them from your barber station, from your barber chair. It becomes a mobile workstation. So now we can rotate without having to rotate our own bodies, but just our barber chair. And this would encompass a battery, which allows it to be functional even on-site or off-site, allowing them to be portable and functional.
Great. Okay, thank you.
I'm trying to follow up on that. How wide is this caddy?
So what I have right now is roughly about 18 inches. Most barber chairs are roughly 19 to 20 inches on the back seat. This is 18 inches. It fits about 7 clippers.
Okay.
Allowing.
All right, so it's 18 inches long, but how
wide?
Yeah, between your body and the head of the customer.
So if this is the barber chair,
yeah,
you're looking at roughly 6 inches.
Okay.
It sits in a way that it allows it to be angled. That way it doesn't protrude too far, because the barber chair does lean back. So once it leans back, it actually is parallel to the floor. Okay. But it doesn't allow for it to be an obstruction to a barber, because we typically don't stand that close to a patient, a client.
Well, you know, the reason I asked the question is I thought maybe solving one problem, you were making another, because
Sure.
you have this thing in front of you, so you're going to have to reach further, but then you're telling me you're tipping the customer back.
Yeah, I would love to have brought a chair here, but you're not tipping. If you're sitting here, the head is here, your caddy is there, so you're able to pull from your caddy and actually work. Any other questions?
So I also go back to a similar question I asked
Sure.
the previous person. And so why, I'm just curious, why hasn't this been thought of before, and what does the competition look like?
So right now, you know, I haven't found any. I did research because I was looking for something. I really wanted to make my job easier. And I was really big on time. I wanted to do a haircut in 30 minutes. Now, every turn that I do costs me microseconds, which can add up to time. And so I looked, and I couldn't find anything. So when I decided to say, hey, you know, there's nothing on the market, let me figure out what I can do. And there wasn't anything. There was no product out there that would not only organize my tools, but allow me to access them quicker and in front of me.
I have a question. So the one thing about the turn, I know it causes wear and tear in the body, but the system that you're pulling the clippers from has a sanitation component to them. Can you speak to the sanitation component for the clippers that's on the back? Is there one, and can you speak to that?
So good, great question. So during our customer discovery, we found out that a lot of the barbers moved away from the UV light. And the UV light, for those of you who don't know, is sterilization. And what it does is it allows for you to place your clippers in there, and it just completely sterilizes it for any bacteria, anything else like that. Now, because of the cost, it's a little different to add that component. However, that I believe is an added benefit for this, because not only are you able to sterilize your clippers in your caddy, you're also able to travel with a sterilization too. So for me, yes, I want the sterilization. And we're gonna look into the cost of that. But they typically are right now using just a spray, but that can dull the clippers because it may have a portion of oil. However, it does not have enough to keep your blades lubricated enough to stay clean and sharp. That way, you know, you don't get the nag and when somebody's cutting your hair. I'm sure somebody didn't have a nag before, right? You're getting a haircut and it's like what was that, right? No? Okay, well, I have. So, but that's where it's at. So yes, sir, we are looking to do that. All right, cool.
Oh wait, are you going to give haircuts now, or?
You ready?
I'll take that clipper, maybe. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the presentations, but we have more good things coming up in just a second here. So, again, you have the opportunity to vote on who you feel is the best of the best on all the 9 pitches, and that's the People's Choice Award. We will have on the screen a QR code. When that QR code comes up for that, be sure to scan that, and then you can vote for who you feel was the best of the best. I know it's going to be hard to choose because there's some really great presentations today. A lot of these folks have never done this before in terms of standing up front and presenting, but you all know that's something they need to do moving forward. So anyways, congratulations, and another congratulations to all the presenters today. Additionally, we're also going to be showing some videos here, sort of more showcasing of our clients who've created successes when they start out ground zero with just an idea. And the Centrepolis Accelerator has been able to help them take the most effective steps to vet, validate, and then navigate, most importantly, know how to accelerate moving forward to get progress and traction and getting their achievements together. So with that said, we're going to do judges' deliberation now. So if you will, there's refreshments in the back. And if you can just hang out for about 15 minutes, we'll be done. We'll be back, and then we'll have the award ceremony. Thank you.
According to the CDC, an average US adult has 212 chemicals in the bloodstream. How? From everyday products that we use. My ultimate goal is to make a difference in the way we use products, at least without using harsh toxic chemicals. My name is Rakesh Katragada, and I'm the CEO and President of Celsius Corporation. I'm a scientist in my brain, but animal lover in my heart. And when I had my pet die of cancer, I wanted to do something for my dog. So that's where the journey started, having a natural product. Hey, Dan.
Good to see you, my friend.
How are you?
Rakesh has this amazing material. It offers disinfectant capabilities. It offers cleaning capabilities. And our role is to help support him in bringing that product to market. So we worked really closely with him to develop an entire line of products that would be a cleaning agent for pets, and then reaching out to pet stores and pet media to help get the word out and get his product in stores to be purchased.
Taking it from a lab environment to commercial scale is a whole new ballgame. It's not easy. So Centrepolis helped me to accomplish that goal. Ever since we got with Dan, and now with his help and Centrepolis, I can probably say we have close to 10,000 customers now. We're also selling internationally. We have close to 250,000 sales, and we're growing rapidly in Michigan. And thanks to Centrepolis and Dan.
One of the values that we provided Rakesh and Celsius is actually bringing not only expertise and people to be an extension of his team, but to also bring in cash and support. So We provided $60,000 in funding to help support business and technical milestones to ensure his product could go from an idea to actually being in a market. It's a product that we can be really proud of. It's an all-natural cleaning agent. There's so many chemical products that are in market today. To have natural products that do as good job, if not better, as a cleaning agent is something that the world needs.
I'm Gina Adams, the founder of Wearology. We develop proprietary hardware to restore independence and empower people with physical challenges.
Gina showed up at one of our workshops when she had this idea for a magnetic button adapter for shirts where people that have lost dexterity in their hands could easily dress themselves. So what we brought to her was product development and manufacturing expertise. Many people like Gina are great entrepreneurs, they have great ideas, but they can't often get their idea to the right price point. So that's one key element and service offering that we brought.
We developed portable parallel bars as a call to action by a skilled nursing center that had residents suffering from isolation. The VA found out about this and were so excited because they too realized this massive problem of people not having access to physical therapy. We're very fortunate to take an idea that was a napkin sketch to the Lawrence Tech Centrepolis Accelerator, who handed this idea off to world-class engineers, and they were able to develop a prototype that we then delivered to the VHA Medical Center in Richmond, Virginia, and we were awarded a contract for 100 units. There is not a chance that we would be here today without the Centrepolis Accelerator and their support.
Centrepolis is the center of development and a first step towards bringing that idea of yours to market and seeing that it's made right here in Michigan.
My name is Sean Gaydon. My title is co-founder and CEO of Intercells. As the name tells you, we deal with battery cells. We have a groundbreaking technology to change how batteries are made.
Our machines produce the battery coating, and we can do it more cost effectively than traditional processes. This is cutting edge research.
Our process is a single step process. We start with the materials, we finish with battery, all in one step. We're working on a unique approach in the sense that we are focusing on cost reduction, carbon footprint reduction, performance improvement.
What's amazing about Intercells is they've really developed a revolutionary technology for manufacturing lithium-ion batteries. What Intercells offers the industry is a lower cost battery that ultimately will make anything that's electrified, including electrified vehicles, lower cost and higher performance. We started working with Sean and the Intercells team about 4 years ago and worked very closely on business strategy, including helping line up customers, strategic partners, suppliers, investors.
Dan was such a great mentor. Since day one, Centrepolis has been my biggest supporter and our first home.
One of the needs of every startup company is resources. What Lawrence Tech can do, and particularly with my lab, is we have equipment. I can bring students to the conversation as well, and I have experience in this area. Intercells gains because we have the ability to do independent testing for them. As a result, we can publish our work, and that elevates the reputation of the university. It substantiates the work that Intercells does. So it really is a win-win situation for everybody.
Centrepolis is one of the few incubator programs that work with manufacturing technologies. to help those companies through their technical milestones. It's actually been an absolute pleasure to be an extension of the Intercells team, and we're very glad to be a part of their success. Centrepolis is a really unique accelerator focused on helping people design, engineer, and manufacture their products right here in Michigan. We make our services available to anybody. It can be an inventor, it could be a startup, or it could be an established small business. And we're helping bring to market consumer products, medical devices, clean tech products. I love what we do, being able to help so many people recognize their dreams and see their idea on store shelves. We're really the best hardware accelerator on the planet. The Centrepolis Accelerator was founded through a partnership between Lawrence Tech University, the city of Southfield, and Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Housed on Lawrence Tech University's campus here in Southfield, Michigan. The connection to Lawrence Tech is that we can actually use faculty and students to help design and develop and test some of these products. We see literally hundreds of people that come to us on an annual basis with new ideas for physical products. We'll work very closely with them on both their business and technical milestones, and then we'll work with them on their product design. We manage the Industry 4.0 Accelerator in partnership with Lean Rocket Lab in Jackson, Michigan. Industry 4.0 is a term used for the next wave of innovation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all connected devices. We've also been asked by the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes Energy, also known as EGLE, to concentrate on clean tech. This is everything from an electric vehicle to the batteries and power electronics that enable them. I grew up a machinist working in my dad's machine shop. What really drove me, my passion in developing Centrepolis Accelerator, was to see that more products are designed, engineered, and manufactured here in our home state. To me, Centrepolis is a place that inventors can come to achieve their dreams. Yep. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Test, test, test. Test, test. Test. Oh. Now we definitely got it. So, again, I want to thank our team. Dennis, for being the MC, did a wonderful job. Thank you. I want to thank our team, Pedro, Heather, Cole, Ryan, Reese, who's been up in the bird's nest taking photos all day. Everyone that contributed to this effort, I'm really grateful. And certainly our funders, City of Southfield, New Economy Initiative, so grateful for your support. So we have the ability to help these companies and help them recognize their dreams and get their products to market and manufactured right here in our home state of Michigan. So we have 4 awards again, if you remember, Dennis mentioned. And the first we're going to announce is the People's Choice Award. That, again, was the award that the audience, the community, had the ability to select. A lot of votes came in. It was pretty close, which is good to see. But I'm going to ask our sponsor, Ward Law, to come up and give this award.
And I'll expand on the pretty close. It was really hard. I mean, everybody was so good. So that was a challenge. It really was, trying to figure that out. So.
Yep, and hold on, can I get, I just thought about this. And I want to point out that Ward Law has been a great partner. They're our IP attorney of choice. They're very professional, incredible resource to help our companies through IP strategy, developing patents, trademarks, and they work very closely to offer free consulting for our clients and then very affordable prices to get that done. So with that, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, one, again, I'm Chip Dusso from Ward Law Office. This is my associate, Noor Kareem. And it's just a pleasure for us to be here and be associated with all the things that happen at the campus and at Centrepolis. One of the great things about being patent attorneys is working with the creative minds and the enthusiasm that we always see in entrepreneurs and inventors. So it's inspiring to us to be involved in an event like today and just on a daily basis. And yes, we have our office in Centrepolis that we can meet with inventors, give that initial advice, some guidance, and then available if you get to that point where you need to take those steps to protect your intellectual property assets. And so again, very grateful, very thankful to be a part of this today. And congratulations to all the presenters. Y'all did a great job, and we're glad to present this award.
As a reminder, this is a $5,000 award. $2,500, half, is in the form of services from Ward Law to help with patent preparation, trademark preparation, and strategy. The other half is in cash. So I will let you announce the People's Choice Award winner. Winner is...
Okay, the winner is Reaction Tech.
Yay! There you go, man. Good job. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna, let's get a photo, get in the middle here, and
Have to watch our mic.
yeah, I'll come on that side.
Okay. Way to go. Good job.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, come on. Thank you. All right, again, we have 3 more prizes, kind of a first place overall best in class winner, and a first runner-up and second runner-up. And the second runner-up prize, I'm going to allow, again, our mayor, Mayor Siver, of the city of Southfield, to announce the winner.
And first of all, congratulations to everybody. We had a really, really hard time debating where to place everybody. You all did a great job, and so this was really tough. But our runner-up is Wagging Tails.
Yeah. Right.
I remember our family dog in the bathtub, not wanting to stay there.
Come on, you could hold the check.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate
it. Hold the check.
Over here, guys.
Yeah.
Over here. Over here.
Oh, we gotta get in the light.
Sorry.
Scoot.
That's good, that's good.
All right.
Great.
Way to go.
Congratulations, Wagging Tail.
Good job.
And we have our first runner-up, second place in this competition. And again, I'll let Mayor Siver announce the first place runner-up.
The next prize goes to EPSI.
Yes.
Dennis, come on up.
$10,000. And you're addressing a real problem.
Congratulations.
All right. All right, congratulations.
Go. Good job. Great job.
And I'll back up the mayor. It was tough in the judge's deliberation room. The one thing I will make sure everybody knows is all of these companies are getting some support, right? So the companies, many of which went through our idea to product market program that Dennis talked about, are now moving to our growth stage program where we're making investments to help ruggedize the product, help get it market ready, and transition it to manufacturing into the market. So everybody will get support, and the companies that are receiving prizes today will get additional financial support. And that brings us to our final prize and our grand prize winner, which is $15,000.
All right, and this goes to Snowbotics, the outdoor Roomba.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Come in, Elmer.
Oh, thank you so much.
Make one last comment about thanking the judges.
So congratulations to everybody. Again, it was a tough decision all throughout that journey. I would like to give special thanks to our judges today. Thank you for taking the time to be here in your busy schedule, and just want to really appreciate that. And feel free to reach out afterward. I know several of you already have some ideas you want to take action on, right? So that's even better. So let's give a hand to our judges as well. Thank you. And then also our presenters. Those who got awards does not mean that the ones that didn't get awards today aren't good enough, okay? Again, it was a tough decision. We only had so many awards to give. But the bottom line is that you all are on a path to get some serious traction moving forward. Many of you are in the customer creation and growth program. You know there's some metrics that you need to put together that are measurable. We're going to achieve a lot of things by the end of this year. And I know sometimes it makes you squirm in your chair. You got a lot to do, but it's going to get you traction. So thank you. Thanks everybody for being here today, and have yourself a great evening. Enjoy this.